Hello there everyone, this is iMark3 and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, second launch. The Dyson's vacuum cleaners are rolling off the line and unfortunately there's a lack of buyers, so there you go. These shoehorning these references in just getting worse and worse, isn't it? Yes, welcome back to Dyson Sphere though. I would like to start out actually by apologising for the tone I was setting at the end of last time. Well, life and health conditions mean that I tend to be short on sleep. So when I get very short on sleep, I tend to just go bleh very, very easily and get kind of downbeat in a hurry. So that's kind of what happened at the end there, and I apologise for that. This time though, we are in absolutely oodles and oodles of time available to actually get things done, and this episode my plan is to finish my relocation, which is strip out all of the oil-based systems and place the rest of the chemical plants, get it all plumbed in, so get production going, get structure production going, which is actually becoming an increasing concern because we're running short of our stockpile of structures and doodads we had built up already. And also get fuel rod production going, because if you remember, I had loads and loads of hydrogen cells and a whole bunch of deuterium fuel rods, sorry. And this is all that's left after last time. So, I've run through the vast majority of my energy stockpile already. Mostly during last time, like the last recording session, but also since then, because I've also laid out a bit more of the conveyor lines. As you can see, these are all laid in for these ones. I did the rigging on these ones, like the priority shunts for the various mergers needed down here. I've not touched the actual production line there just yet, but I've also done a conveyor-based extraction on the vast majority of the resources on this world. And this kind of shows what I was thinking of doing before, and I talked about briefly, which is like have localized power. These oil derricks are powered by wind turbines just locally, and that's all they need. So same thing with if I go over here, I've wired in some more coal facilities, ore facilities, stuff like that. So I'm tapping almost all deposits on this planet now. Long story short. And they're running on local power with renewable resources as well. I actually got an achievement pop-up, sorry, not achievement, a progress pop-up, saying generate above 600 megawatts just on renewable resources, so that is a thing. Though I will be paying attention to this going forward because, Yosemite Dan mentioned this on not the last episode, the episode before that, before I started doing the factory teardown, on how different planets have different aspect ratios for renewable resources, and yes, that's all in the list here. So wind energy, solar energy, you can see what kind of renewables will be effective, and of course solar will have to be paired with power storage solutions just to keep those operational. Though also available in the list is things like orbital period, rotational period, inclination, and planetary axis. Planetary axis is the one that messed up my orbital cannons, by the way, because that's the tilt of the planet's rotational axis. And honestly, rotation periods and orbital period, they don't matter for overall effectiveness of those. It's just they're going to spend half the time one way or the other no matter what. It's just how often those halves occur is what those two really mean. And orbital inclination, that doesn't really affect anything much except for where the planet is in the solar system. So that's all that. Anyway, let's move on, because we're about to get on the messiest part of this operation, tearing down the fluid section. Because quite simply, I've decided the easiest way to go about this is going to be to ditch the storage, ditch all my stockpiles of materials, and that means there's going to be a considerable mess. Unless, can I produce any? What do I need for that? I just need titanium to make hydrogen fuel cells. I'll convert a bunch of the hydrogen I get into hydrogen fuel cells just to continue powering myself. That sounds like a good plan. Waste not, want not, and all that green tree hugger nonsense. Yes. Though, do I actually have the right to say that kind of thing? Because I was talking last time about how it might be nice to have some mods to actually let me plant trees and things back into the game if I can find them. And if there isn't such a mod, then I am both not surprised and slightly disappointed, but you get what I mean. Anyway, moving on. I cut those off. Just need to get rid of all this. And I'm going to grab the hydrogen first off the actual conveyors rather than delete the entire storage. Just because that'll probably be a bit easier to handle. Also got to remember, I am going to get deuterium as well, but I'm not prioritising that the same way, because producing deuterium requires treated titanium alloy, and I don't have any kind of production capability for that yet. So it's just not going to work. Oh, yep, there we go. We're starting to ditch some stuff. What have we got? We've got a massive boatload of hydrogen. There you go. Let's just make sure I can pick up what I can out of that. Okay, and we can produce 70 fuel rods. That's 140 of those with the hydrogen I had. Not too bad. Can we get any more? Another one, and then of course got to get rid of the lines as well. There we go. Bunch more hydrogen. We're actually going to be able to convert a lot of the loose hydrogen around the place into that. I'm going to leave that water... Actually, no. That water's not exactly where I want it to be for processing, so I'm going to have to scrap that as well, aren't I? But anyway, let's do the thing that we want to see, which is the absolute environmental catastrophe when I delete these things. Yes. Look at all that. Though I am going to, of course, hoover up as much hydrogen as I can. Just to try and do all of that. Though I admit it's going to tie up my processing for quite a while, but that's okay. If it's in my assembly line, apparently it doesn't exist. And I'll use it all eventually, no matter what. Again, having a built-in resource tank would be so much better than this. Come on. Come on. And I'm using like a stack of titanium every time I refill my inventory with hydrogen. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, look at that. 2,000 odd seconds now to process all that. Okay, that's all that. Okay. Ditch all that. And of course, let's move on to the next part, which is... and... So, oil, hydrogen, and oil, and refined petroleum everywhere. Good thing we have this handy eraser button. Anyway, moving on. That's probably the most entertaining part about this, so I'll just keep going until... Yeah, get rid of all this. There we go. I didn't realise I'd actually filled up on so much hydrogen already. Look at this, I've got 68 and counting. I'm not going to run out of fuel anytime soon. Okay, here we are. Next step. Removing my available renewable power sources to make sure that I'm more dependent on precious combustible fossil fuels and yada yada. All that good stuff, you know? Got to be environmentally friendly. Yes. Anyway, moving on. Yep, next up is, of course, getting the refinery running. And I've already done basically the routing here because it's a bit complex, of course, which is prioritise, keep the basic cracking running to make sure I've got refined stuff. Otherwise, there's hydrogen all ready to go into storage tanks, which will then export up that away somewhere. That's basically it. Now I also have the oil line coming in here, and this taps into all those oil wells you saw scattered around the planet earlier. So that's where all the oil's coming in. So let's just go ahead and get this thing operational, like that. And I need to make sure I get the foundation out. So, you know, gotta make sure it's pretty. Whoops. Oh, I'm out of foundation button. Well, what's left of my foundation production is up here. As you can see, I'd slapped together something temporarily, and that's all I've got, like 1,000 odd foundations. I should probably hold on to that actually, because I need that to get foundation production itself running again, which, you know, that'd be the smart thing to do, wouldn't it? Yeah, actually do that. Let's do that as far. Let's not do that as far as there. Because this will... Admittedly, I have to come back and do this later, but... Also, it would help if that was the right way around, wasn't it? Admittedly, I have to come back with foundation under this later, but it also generates some precious dirt pile, which is something that I am once again struggling with. I need to basically level a few worlds or something like that, ideally. Also, I need to feed energetic carbon into this, don't I, to get... No, just refined oil hydrogen. Yeah, that'll start up naturally by itself. That's set to neutral. That's set to neutral. This is set to that's set to priority output. That's set to a priority output. So yeah, that should work. I just have to get the stuff laid out and running first. There we go. And already it is starting. Excellent. Right. You can hear the machinery humming away. Just need to keep doing that incorrectly, because that seems to be the thing I'm doing. Oh dear. There we go, all humming away and happy-dappy, refining the liquefied remains of dinosaurs into useful byproducts. Well, actually no, to be fair, it's not just dinosaurs, it's also plants, other animals, basically organic matter is what makes up oil. And yeah, you can see that some of the priority merging starting to take effect there. So if this is full, it takes from the oil refining first, but then if that gets below that point, it starts to accept it from its own processing. So that's the hydrogen production loop. So we are steadily ticking up on that at the moment, so that's all good. We're not getting very much by way of actual fluid yet either, but that's because that's running half and half just to get this thing started. At least that was my intention. I'm going to leave that half and half for the time being. Anyway, we must produce structures. We need to start making useful materials, and that means we're going to be paving over this lake, unfortunately. I'd hoped to avoid this, but oh well, here we go. Our first one is of course going to have to be these guys, producing landfill, because we need more of that. Let's just scrap that down, because I actually ran out of basic materials to do that. I've run out of stored steel, I've run out of... well, stored stone is kind of low. I actually had a massive stockpile after I did the teardown, but I've spent basically all of it. Let's get these guys plugged in though. There we go, you come to life. Jolly good. And you come to life as well, please. So there we go. Steel and stone production stepping up. Most excellent. And as you can see though, the steel is already being shipped away because it's being used for other processes as well, all the way over here. What was it? What was using the steel? It is the basic planetary engines, of which I have over 600. Automated production for the win, folks. Okay, that should about do it. Mother Nature, please forgive my trespass, but I only seek to clad you in the tamper-proof protection of refined metal and or concrete, which is actually refined rock. So yeah. Technically, processed metals are processed from a natural source, so it's a pure natural protection for a lasting impression or something. I don't know where I was going with that one, but yeah. Anyway, that is foundation production going on. Doesn't look as good as the ones I have over there, so it's not as pretty, I admit. But that's because I'm economizing on foundations because, you know, short on foundations. And B, it's actually split across 3 different zones as far as the planetary grid's concerned. So, yeah, these little stop gaps here to allow me to adjust the belts are kind of needed. Still though, it's all working, and it is producing a respectable clip of foundries. Foundries? No, it's producing foundations. You'd think I'd get it right by now, but nope. Apparently I still make tons of mistakes. Look how much fuel I've got. Dang it. Look at all this. Okay, next up. Conveyors? Question mark? I guess. Maybe. Okay, that about does it for conveyor belts. So another bit important step forward, making sure we've got those going. There's one bugbear though, which is the fact that we don't actually have graphene production rolling yet. So we need to go to the chemical refinery area and sort that out. That's so that we can pull our spare belts out of storage and throw them in there, can't we? Oh, I don't. So much fuel! Ah. It's going to be taking me ages to burn through this lot. Wow, look at all that. It's so full of fuel. What else have I got? What else do I need, actually? Oh, I almost ran out of those. This is the other reason I'm running short of stuff. I mean, that's I've got a stack plus 1 of sources left, and that's all I've got. So I need to get production of those rolling as well. But anyway, let's continue over here and get graphene sourced out. Okay, that is our graphene stockpile, now depleting into the main production chain. Good. Graphene is almost set to go. It just requires hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid, we are currently set up for stone delivery, but we don't have refined oil or water, so we need to tap into the refinery setup all the way over there. Oh, I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to install another belt, but above the stone belt, I think. And that will hold refined oil. And I say above the stone belt because the stone belt... No, not stone belt. The graphene belt is the one that comes all the way out here. The stone belt is over there. The graphene is the one that goes over both areas. Let's go and tend to that. I'd just like to point out that I've kind of done the same thing as I did with the lower belts here, which is I've kept the lower input for ingoing and outgoing, and then the one above is a raised transportation kind of level. And admittedly, I didn't need one there. It's just like it's one, but there's one below, so it's like a viewable mounting point. It's like this belt isn't just hovering; it's actually got something supporting it. Which, to be honest, is my only real complaint about the belts in this game. Apart from the fact you can just walk through them whenever you like. That's also something. But, yeah. They kind of look like they float unsuspended. That's probably not going to be changed, though, because that's like an aesthetic kind of thing, I guess. But, Yeah, you know. Anyway, yeah, water. Big pool of water. We have our water extractors on us, so we can just tap into it over here, and then plump that into it as well. Easy peasy. Alright, that's the water. And we've also got the line, of course, for all of that, so we should be kind of good now. Should go to there. 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 And I'll pull them out of that one. Straight down there. Got to step out by one because of the presence of the storage tank. And jobs are good. Okay. Just need to get all these things sorted out. That's all three, yes. Run it along here. Bish bash bosh. Where's the opening? There's the opening. On that side of it. There, there, and there. And huzzah! We are now producing sulfuric acid. Not exactly the safest thing to be producing, I must admit, but hey, it is a thing that's going on. So, yeah. We might have to... Oops, an accidental escape there. We might have to step that up later, but right now we have another pressing matter, which is now to get this guy operational. There we go. Comes out that side, feeds into this surge crate, which will hold off. There is a priority merchant for this one. It produces the rare material. And yeah, off it goes. Off it goes. Right. Okay, that's that necessary production done. Let's keep on going. We're on a bit of a roll now, aren't we? Sort of. Yeah, definitely a sort of, I think. Yeah, shout out to anyone who remembered that you actually need the triangles for other things besides building productions. Well, you need other things rather than just the conversion into these plasma exciters. Yeah, because I was losing track of such stuff so much, I actually forgot that I actually need these as a vital component in the production of the Dyson swarm satellites. More precisely, going into the photon agitator units. I think they're called photon agitators. Just remembering that off the top of my head. Either that or I'm just making it up using gaseous excreta, but who knows. So let's do that, and that's because honestly, I'd forgotten that one of the reasons we had the Dyson swarm up was because when the factory's actually starting to run flat out, which is it's already running harder than it ever did before because the operation sections are bigger than they ever were before. My power grid is going kaput, honestly. So I'd kind of need to get these things firing as fast as possible. So to make yon sats, which are these guys, I need graphene, which we have just started production of, and photon combiners, not agitators. My bad. And the agitators are here, running off just circuits and prisms. So yeah, I just need to plug those in. And it should be good to roll on SAT production. I mean, I've already got receiver lines laid out to transport them to the actual operational guns, but we need that power supply yesterday now. Besides, one of the objectives for today was to actually get the Dyson Swarm back in place, because I missed seeing that beacon of my actually achieving something in the sky, you know? It was a good visible marker of us making progress, quote unquote. There we go, that should about do it. Dyson Swarm satellite production is all but ready, but the main problem is, of course, my current power supply is 20%. Oh dear. But hopefully this will fix that. Sure, it's going to be an issue, but Those solar receivers have been in receiver mode for so long they're probably at maximum by now. And the guns do have an initial charge, so they'll be able to launch these satellites to start out with. It's just everything is overloaded. I should probably actually plug in some more power plants or something. Actually, yeah, that'll probably be a really smart idea, wouldn't it? And I do have like almost 70 wind turbines just knocking around as well. Oh, here they come, here they come. Satellites, yes. Unfortunately, this area is currently not at the angle. And this is... continues receiving 0%. Oh, does that tick down if there's nothing to receive? It probably does. That's a shame. With that said though, the southern array should be good to go as soon as we get the angle sorted out. What are we waiting on? We are waiting on the photon units, it seems like. Just because we're having trouble getting those things sorted out. Not to worry. Soon the swarm will be back, but in the meantime, maybe I should run some wind turbines along these long planetary grid stretches. No, I can't do that because one of them is being used as a resource line. Actually, no, there's no reason I can't do it to the other three, is there? Alright, you know me and stopgap measures. I mean, no, everything I do is deliberate and perfect. Yes. No, this should help out a little bit with my current power issues. Oops. I mean, we've got the materials and resources ready to go for it, so we are beginning actual production of the hydrogen fuel rods, and that massive amount that I produced earlier, I'm just going to dump it straight into storage there. Look, I've got too much to even go in the storage. But yeah, that will feed into this new bank of thermal generators. I took the original 6, built another 6, so we've got 12 now. And that should serve as a okay intermediate power source just to keep things running for a little while. And yes, I do have access to the mini fusion power plants, but I just don't have the materials for it, which is... yeah, it requires that ultra strong graphene doohickey, I think it is. Where is it? Here we go. High strength materials. It requires carbon nanotubes. If I had the tech, I could build those, but I don't, so I can't. Story of my life, really. Oh, that explains why my coal reserves weren't going down. I forgot to... I had an excess of nanocarbon, so I stopped producing. Whoops. And I should probably just go ahead and start producing diamonds too while I'm at it. There we go. I think that's all my production lines actually fully active now. Though of course that also increases my power demand, which is not for the best. No, we are not currently smelting titanium, but we have dropped below the amount I want in the buffer, so... there we go. Yeah, I think everything else is on, so... hooray, our entire smelting section is operational. Of course, we've also got the hydrogen fuel rods helping to supply some power. Oil refining is rolling. We don't have deuterium cracking up yet, which won't take long. And our Dyson swarm is taking its form once more. So we are on our way to getting power stabilized again. If only you didn't need titanium alloy. That's the big sticker there. And I was thinking of putting titanium alloy down here as well, but this belt section here is looking a bit busy for my tastes, so I might want to put it somewhere else. Plus, it requires sulfuric acid, doesn't it? Let's have a look. To produce you, yes, sulfuric. And titanium and steel, so actually mounting it over this way would probably be a good idea. time for the final update to this particular video. As you can see, our lovely, lovely Dyson swarm is doing great. Oh, look at it go. I'm so happy to have that thing back in the sky, I must admit. But anyway, moving on. The last thing we got here is something new for me because, you know, not done this before. Industrial scale production for titanium alloy. Admittedly, if I was going for maximum efficiency, I would just go bish bash bosh, have it all like a single line of smelters and then that would be it. But nope. This little production park is kind of done for the rule of cool. It's just like a nice little complex doodad more than anything else. But yeah. Things worth noting is that if this thing was running at... there's only 15 of the smelters here. I could have done 30, but with 30 it would have required an extra belt of sulfuric acid coming in. And right now we're just not scaling any of the factories up to needing multiple belts of this, that and the other. Though I'm seriously thinking of doing like an extra iron smelting assembly as well, because I don't think I'm getting enough iron plates. I could do with doubling that, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, moving on. Let's get this thing hooked in. Which of course means I'm going to get a little bit of random material. New. I don't think there's anything else I want to ditch. No, I'm just going to that. So there we go. So that is now rolling. Pretty decent clip as well. Da 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 da. And it's getting all the stuff. And also of note here is I've actually got a little stash crate here because I was so enthusiastic of using buffer overflow crates to deal with surges of demand that I kind of forgot the original purpose of the storage boxes at the end of my production lines was to store it so that I could actually grab material easily whenever I needed it. So that was a bit of a whoopsie on my part. Anyway, we must continue along here because we need to follow this. I was looking at the water thinking, wait, why is it blue? But no, here we go. This is where all the refined ingots are going. I added an additional line up here, as you can see. It's wandering all the way up here. Then it's currently short-circuiting itself here because I need it further on, but that's as far as it's going. But it's coming down here because, as you can see from these belts, it's joining some others and it's becoming this. Also, apparently I forgot to put storage in place. There we go. Yep. So we are now manufacturing, again for the first time for me, deuterium fuel cells. I mean, I'd made some in my onboard assembler, but that doesn't count because this is actual industrial production. Like, assemblers are doing the work here. So I'm getting a supply of deuterium fuel rods now. And we've still got massive amounts of these things in stock. In fact, I think I should probably cut this off just so it stops producing for the time being. Let's cut it off here. There we go. Pick up a little bit of titanium and stop it. Last thing of note is, of course, since I've got deuterium fuel rod production going, you've probably noticed, hey, there's deuterium. Yeah, that's because I also came back and finished up this area while the Dyson swarm was going back up. So this is now paved, this is now paved, and we've now got our little deuterium collision plant, cracker plant, what is it? Fractionator plant. Our deuterium fractionators, that's a mouthful, are now over here and just tucked in along the way. Some wind tucked in the middle. And I also decided to try and keep the belts topped up a bit more, so I split the inbound hydrogen line into two and I'm feeding in at both ends. Just to help ensure that the machines are staying up a little bit more often, because whenever there's a gap in the belt, that's downtime where it could be trying and failing to produce deuterium. So slight efficiency boost there, though not much of one, I must admit. So honestly, to have it the most efficient, I'd want to be inputting right before every single one of these fractionators, if I'm going to be honest. But honestly, I don't really want to squeeze that much out of it, because it's already really high on the efficiency anyway. So that's the thing I've done. And yeah, that is all there is to update, besides, of course, the fact that the Dyson swarm is back in all its glory. So I think I'm going to resume getting this stuff sorted out, and then next time we'll be looking at getting research back online. And who knows, if we get research going early on in the episode next time, we can actually look at doing our first ever trip to another solar system. I almost said to another planet, but that would have been a lie because I've already been to other planets pretty often. But yeah, interstellar travel might be next on the to-do list. I mean, we need to get yellow tech really, and then do we need anything special for purple tech? Don't think so. That's purple tech, isn't it? No, that's green tech. Then white tech. Okay, where's purple? Purple, purple, purple. There's yellow. There's purple. Okay, purple requires that, which is... again, I don't think anything special. It's just I need enough yellow to unlock and progress. So, yeah. In terms of raw materials, I've got all the basic resources. It's just some of the refining processes I'm missing to get to more advanced to intermediate products. I still don't understand why the level 2 smelter is over there. I really don't. Level 3 assembly machine is actually kind of close now. Might want to keep an eye on that one. But yeah. Oh, also gas giant exploitation is pretty close as well. But yeah, until next time though. This has been Iron Mark 3. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And... yeah, look at all that. And I'll catch you all some other time. Wait a second. Why is the planet lit up when there's a gas giant in the way? Oh... I'm honestly not surprised. I mean, lit up makes a lot of sense. But the gas giant isn't casting a shadow. Even though systems that would try to throw things through the gas giant stops, I mean, as you I don't know, it's just this one little thing. It's like, wait a second, why is the planet still lit up when I can't see the sun? But yeah, see you all later.